Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another session of Office Hours. My name is Adrian. I am the CEO and founder of Groundhogg. Today, we are going to be expanding and recovering our topic from last week, which was how to add a virtual ATM to your website. If you were on the call last week, you may already know what I mean by this, but if you were not on last week's call, this is just one of those really easy ways to start generating more revenue for minimum effort. And those are always like the best ways, right? When you minimum effort for maximum output. I always love it when that happens. You know what they say, work smarter, not harder. John, welcome to the call. I see John Whitford's on the call with us today. How you doing, John? For anyone else who's on the call today, if you want to catch a recording of today's session, it'll be made available on YouTube and Groundhogg Academy as well. So you'll always be able to go rewatch these sessions in case you missed something or in case you want a refresher. And also if anyone who wants to watch the call in better quality on one of these streams, then absolutely go to YouTube or Groundhogg Academy as well for that. And like John, if you are on the call with me today and you just want to jump in and say, hey, Adrian, what's up, and ask a question and participate, then you can absolutely do so. There is a comment section on the right-hand side of the screen or underneath if you're just watching in the main feed, and you can go ahead and drop your questions and just give a quick shout out that you're on the call with us today. So, what do I mean by virtual ATM? Well, an ATM, an automated teller machine, is something that looks like this. You put in a credit card or a debit card or whatever, and it spits out money in return for that transaction. Now, you'll see these in a lot of restaurants, in a lot of bars, in convenience stores, and places where they have cash only or maybe credit card only transactions, but you only have a debit card, so you need to go get cash out of the machine. And the establishment, well, the machine, the ATM charges a transaction fee. It's usually like $2, $3, or maybe 10% of whatever the total transaction value is. And in exchange for the ATM company putting an ATM there, the restaurant gets a service fee or a portion of the profits that that machine is making. So basically, the restaurant or the establishment is leasing out a square foot for this ATM machine, and they get paid for it. And it's not like they were going to use that square foot anyway. So it's basically free money for them. Like they don't have or put in any effort to the maintenance of the machine because the ATM company does all of that. And it's really just like a great symbiotic relationship for the establishment and this ATM. So it's pretty awesome. So for them, minimum effort, maximum output. They get paid, everyone's happy. So it's basically to them, or the establishment, free money. And us business owners, we like free money, we want free money. So how do we add an ATM, an automated teller machine, something that requires minimum effort but spits out maximum output? How do we add something like that to our site? So the qualities of a virtual ATM requires very little maintenance. So you don't need to go in, you don't need to modify it, you don't need to maintain it, you don't need to update it, you don't need to tweak it very often. It's really easy to implement, like an actual ATM. You just drop it in a corner and you plug it in. That's as easy as it is. And it basically prints money for very little cost. It doesn't cost you much to actually have that system in place. It doesn't you're not paying for it, it pays for itself. You don't need to pay someone thousands of dollars to implement it. So that, it's very, 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 very cost effective in terms of it basically costs nothing, but it actually creates money. So it has like 100, 300, maybe 400, maybe 500, maybe 1,000% output. So here's an example of what my own virtual ATM on groundhogg.io looks like. If you go to the Groundhogg website and you scroll all the way down to the footer, there is a little form there that says subscribe and discount, and it collects two things, a name and an email address. And underneath it says the following: stay up to date and never miss a promotion, freebie, or update. Get a 15% off discount for any premium plan for the first subscription year. Lots of people find this form. One of the things that we think as marketers is, we always go down to the footer, and sometimes there's a subscription form where it says subscribe, and we think those are usually like ineffective, right? Like nobody finds those. I get a fair amount of website traffic to Groundhogg, usually around 5,000 unique visitors per month. And not a ton of people find the footer, but the people who do, there are people, traffic, visitors, who are looking for these kind of like little hidden treasures, the deals, right? They want to find a deal. They don't want to pay full price. It actually amazes me how many people pay full price for Groundhogg, because we're very, very, very generous with the discount codes that we send to people. It's not exactly hard to find a Groundhogg discount code. And this is one of the many ways where we disseminate and put discount codes out into the universe. So we have this in our footer. It just stays there. I implemented it forever ago, probably maybe a year ago, and it's just been there ever since. And I pulled up some stats for the last 90 days to show you what kind of effect it's had on revenue, on lead gen, and all of those fun things. So let's look at what my virtual ATM has done for my business. So in the last 90 days, it's generated $8,000 in revenue. That means that people were their first interaction with Groundhogg was actually finding that form and giving us their email address, received the email with the discount code, and then went to go buy something. That process generated $8,000 in the last 90 days with an average order value of $400 per customer and 20 new customers. What it doesn't say here on that list is, if you actually look down at the bottom left, it's generated 206 leads. These are brand new customers, so 206, and that is for 20 new customers, $400 average order value. That is a conversion rate of around 9%, which is pretty good. Which actually looks like with the last 99 is just down a little bit. So in the days before that, it was actually a little bit more, and that's pretty cool, I think. So we got 200 something on leads, $8,000 for just a form that took all of 30 seconds to install in the footer. And it only sends out like a couple of emails to these people. And I'm actually going to share with you the actual process or the system of which we use from the footer to actually get them to the checkout page. So I'm going to share with you the funnel, the exact one that I use that generated those numbers, because that's just the kind of guy that I am. So let's go ahead and copy this. I'm going to paste that in the chat there. So for anyone on the call today who wants access to the exact funnel that we used to basically generate $8,000 in free money that I didn't work for really, except for the installation of this virtual ATM, you can go ahead and download that funnel in the chat right now. Link to download it is available. And what we're going to do is I'm going to walk you through exactly what it looks like and how it works. All right, so we got our funnel editor pulled up here. I just call it the website footer ATM. Pretty catchy. The first thing that we're starting off with here is obviously the web form. So we actually have to have a web form that goes in the footer. It collects two things: first name and email address. We have just this really simple form here, built with the Groundhogg form builder. It's got a 1/4 column, a 1/2 column, and a 1/4 column. The submit button just says subscribe. The email is just email. It's very, very, very straightforward. The only things of note really is we are submitting this form via Ajax. This means that it is they stay on the page where they were. So if they're on the pricing page, we don't want to necessarily take them off of the pricing page, right? We don't want them to go anywhere else. We want them to stay there. So all we do is we just display a message after they submit the form that says, hey, first, your discount code is on the way. Again, in the actual footer of the website, which, you know what, I'll actually pick up. Let's grab my own pricing page here. Let's scroll all the way to the bottom. Here is that subscribe and discount form. It literally says subscribe and discount, stay up to date, never miss a promotion, freebie, or update, get 15% off. So when we submit this, ATM, there we go. That'll go ahead, and then it says, boom, your discount code is on the way. Presumably to my email address. You can modify this a little bit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to send them a confirmation email. I confirm all email addresses before we deliver, just so that we know that that person is real and that that person is going to actually be someone on the list and that they're marketable and that we're compliant and all of that fun stuff. By the way, if you are bound by the restrictions of GDPR, you might want to add the actual GDPR checkboxes here as well, just a side note. Okay, so in our first email, we just have our generic confirmation request. So thanks for joining our mailing list. We'll keep you up to date with important news, plugins, extensions, etc., etc. First, we need to confirm your email address. Click the link below. They click the link. Their email address is confirmed. Super simple. Not really much to talk about there. Go ahead and close that. We're going to send that same email twice. So if they don't confirm the first time, we'll wait a couple days and then we'll send it again. Once they confirm their email address, that's when we're actually going to send the discount code. If you're not bothering with collecting email confirmation, then guess what? You can just delete all of that and just ignore that and then go immediately to sending the discount code. That might actually produce higher or better results than the ones that I'm currently getting, but I am bound by Canadian anti-spam legislation to do that first. So if you're in the United States, for example, this is not necessarily something that you have to put up with, and you can just ignore the confirmation step altogether. Okay, so once we confirm their email address, let's go ahead and send them the discount code email. And this is a super simple email. It's got a few things going for it. This email will go to the promotions folder, just FYI. And if you're wondering how or why it would go to the promotions folder, you can actually go look at the office hours session from 2 weeks ago where I explain why emails go to the promotions folder. Okay, so in this email, our subject line, short and sweet, subject line so that they can easily identify it because it's linked directly to their interaction on the website with the website footer. Claim your 15% off discount. So they requested it, now they get the opportunity to claim it. In the actual content of the email, if I scroll down here, we say, hey, first, thanks for subscribing, claim your 15% off discount below. So I use the same discount code. By the way, this is a total valid discount code. If anybody who is watching this is not a customer yet, I found 15 off is totally valid. So you can go use that at checkout for 15% off or when upgrading a plan. Fun stuff there. I use the same discount code for this specific for all of the customers who register. I don't use auto-generated discount codes. The reason I do that is primarily for tracking purposes. I want to see how many people signed up using specific discount codes so I can track which ones are better and where they're coming from. It just makes that easier. If I'm using auto-generated discount codes, there's no real tracking component with that. So I found 15 off is the one that I am using there. I use different discount codes just as a aside. I use different discount codes for different contexts. For example, I have another one time get 15 off is another one that we have, which we use in chat. Then we have upgrade 15 off, which we use for promoting upgrades. So we have these different discount codes, which we use pretty often, but in different contexts. So we can use that to track and build reports on our discount codes. Okay, so your discount code is valid for the first full subscription year. So any terms that go along with the discount code, you might just want to throw that in the email. I know that I did. And that just prevents confusion. So when you're using a discount code and you renew for the next year of Groundhog, the renewal is full price. In order to avoid confusion about, hey, I use this discount code, why is it not the same price? We just put that in the email. Link under that, we have lots of call to actions to actually go to the pricing page. So this email should always send them back to the pricing page, or if you only have one product, then the link in the email should take them directly to the checkout page with the product in the cart. And then we also state what makes us different. So on our pricing page, we have a lot about what makes us different, our flat rate pricing, self-hosted, et cetera, no success tax. We reiterate that in this email just to remind them of why they actually requested this discount code in the first place. People have short attention spans, right? So we want to make sure that we're hammering down on what makes us different so that they continue through to the end of the checkout process, because that's kind of important, because if they don't do that, we don't make money, and that's not good. So choose a plan now. Unlike other CRM platforms, ActiveCampaign, Infusionsoft, HubSpot, we do not charge you a success tax. That means no matter how big your list grows, your price with Groundhogg stays the same. Pretty incredible, right? So if you want to save big on CRM marketing automation, choose your plan now. Final call to action, sincerely, your signature, Adrian CEO. And this works quite well. And this is what we send to our people. And then at the end of the funnel, we are tracking when they actually become a customer. Now, in our own installation, in my exact installation on our website, this is an EDD download purchased benchmark. You may be using WooCommerce or some other way of tracking actual sales. So in this exact case, I'm just using a tag applied goal or tag applied benchmark, and then tracking when they become a customer with the purchased tag. You can go ahead and swap this benchmark out for any other benchmark, which is signifying some sort of purchase. So if you're using ThriveCart, it might be some sort of, the ThriveCart webhook listener might be what you're using here, for example. Or maybe a webhook listener if it's coming from some sort of other payment platform. I know that Colin Longworth over at WooNinja, they have Shopify benchmarks and all that stuff. So whatever you're using, that goes at the end of this funnel. And that way, that's what's going to give us those conversion rate stats, which I showed you earlier. These stats come from having the benchmarks and actions in the exact order as they are in this funnel. And that's what makes it work. And that's what makes the tracking and conversion rates and all of that fun stuff, all of that fun reporting possible. So from that first email, we send that immediately as soon as they confirm their email address. We're going to wait 3 hours, and then we're going to send it to them again in case they didn't take action on that first one. So we're just going to nudge them in the right direction if they don't purchase immediately. Again, so if they get this email and then they go buy immediately, they will be dropped to the end of the funnel, and they will not get these two, or they will not go through these two actions, that timer and that email. So hopefully that makes sense to you. And that, in a nutshell, is the website footer ATM. It's like 4 emails, 3 benchmarks, 2 timers. Really simple and just super easy to implement. I'm going to show you how easy it is to actually drop this in your website footer now. So let's go ahead and let's go grab our shortcode. So we're going to use that shortcode, and then we are going to go drop this in our footer. So to manage the footer, if you're using kind of like classic WordPress, you might be using a special theme or Elementor with an Elementor designed footer. If you're doing that, this does not necessarily apply to you. But if you're like me and you love just like kind of like classic WordPress stuff, then you are going to find all of your footer configuration in the widgets area. And we have a footer here. And I can see that I've already done this to some extent, but I am going to delete it and start from scratch again. So I want to add this to my footer. The thing I'm going to do is I am going to grab this text widget, and I'm going to put that here in footer 2. I'm going to call it subscribe and discount, because that's what I find works for us. I'm going to paste in the shortcode for the form that came from our funnel. And then I'm going to add some text. And I'm just going to copy the same text that we're currently using on Groundhogg's website, because that seems to work some. There we go. Let's go ahead and paste that. Stay up to date, never miss a promotion, freebie, or update. Get a 15% off discount for any premium plan for the first subscription year. Go ahead, save that. And now let's go to our website, visit site. And now if I scroll down to the bottom, here we go, subscribe and discount, name, email, subscribe. Obviously you might want to tweak the button so that it looks good, but I'm not going to bother with that. You're probably using a different theme anyway. So there we go, name, email, subscribe, and then stay up to date, never miss a promotion, freebie, or update. And now if I go ahead and I fill this in, hey, Adrian, your discount is on the way. Thank you. And that's how easy it is. It's like, and if you're getting a lot of traffic and you're already doing, orders and all this stuff, and your business and your funnel is launched, this is just one of those easy things. It's like revenue optimization, right? It's just one of those easy things you can implement that will just immediately start generating more revenue without having to like set up pop-ups or, landing pages or anything like that. It's just this form in the footer, because people look for discounts. There's like two people. There's people who like don't care about whatever they pay. They just want the solution to their problem. And then there's people who will pay whatever they want for the solution to their problem. But if they can get a deal, they're going to take it. Right? And those people are going to look for a deal when they're on your website. I know for like all of Syed Balki's properties and all of his WordPress plugins, in the footer of every one of his properties, there is a link that just says get a discount, right? Because people look for it. And if you make it easy to find and you make it easy to get a discount, you can bake it into the price or whatever, then that is going to incentivize so many more people to make a purchasing decision sooner rather than later. You're worried about giving away too many discounts. We give away 15%, which is, not too much. It's not too little. And it's enough to get people kind of over the edge and making that purchasing decision. But if you're worried about it, just bake it in the price. Increase your prices, start giving away the discount, and that's just going to incentivize so many more people to go to the checkout page and to actually complete that order process. Do we have any questions regarding this process, this funnel? I have a couple in the chat. Andrew Zimble has asked, do I send an admin notification? Well, you can. I don't send an admin notification for this specific funnel, mostly because I know that Andrew, in your situation, Andrew, for anyone who doesn't know Andrew Zimble, is or works with a very successful event rentals business here in Canada. You don't exactly have like a checkout process, right? So if someone wants a discount code for your services, then you might actually need to send an admin notification to, tell the salespeople that are taking care of it that they get some sort of discount or are getting some kind of offer or deal. I should mention that, this works really, really well in a situation where there's like a checkout process where they can just go and take action immediately. But if your sales process doesn't allow that, there's a little bit of a longer process. Maybe there's a quoting process somewhere in there. Maybe a discount code is not necessarily the best incentivizer. You might want to come up with some kind of other offer, maybe a small addition to some sort of package that you're already offering. Event rentals, 10 free chairs. I'm not sure if that's something that is viable or they would find of benefit, or maybe a discount or an offer for catering. I don't know, but it might not. Maybe a discount is not necessarily the best thing. That's something that you're going to have to test out and try with your own specific audience. Maybe do a brainstorm or a think tank on that one with your team, Andrew. But for processes which require just a little bit more of a sales activity, then you might just want to drop an admin notification in here to let you know or let your sales team know that this lead has requested some kind of discount. Send that to the relevant salesperson. The way you would do that is here after they confirm their email address. Just go ahead and send an admin notification. We can send to the owner email. Doesn't really matter who the from is or who the reply to is, and we can just say, requested a discount. Go ahead and save that. There we go. So now we have an admin notification in place as well. So we can notify any salespeople. So hopefully that answers your question, Andrew. Andrew asks, would this work for a one-time discount as well? Well, yeah, I mean, this is for a one-time discount. So that's exactly what this is for. Maybe your definition of one-time discount is a little bit different than mine. So if you want to clarify that a bit, Andrew, then you can go right ahead and do that. And I can maybe contextualize the response a little bit better for you. Alrighty. So that, in the nutshell, is the website footer ATM. Real easy. If you got traffic, it's just one of those easy things to build the list and to incentivize people on the fence to just make that purchasing decision. And in 90 days, it's generated $8K in revenue for my own organization, which is nothing to, it's nothing to shrug at, for sure. And, $8,000 for minimal effort is a deal that I'll take any day. Alrighty. So, floor is open for any questions related to the website footer ATM. If there's no questions about this, or you have a question about something else, Groundhogg, marketing automation, CRM, WordPress, integrations, etc., or some sort of roadblock that you're currently experiencing, maybe from a technology standpoint, or maybe just an education standpoint in terms of you're not really sure where you should be focusing your effort, now is your opportunity to drop into the comment section and ask that question. And if I don't know exactly how to help you or what the answer to your question is, I'm going to point you in the direction where you can get one. Zane Winberg asks, any future plans to integrate with Thrive Architect? No, there is no plans for integration with Thrive Architect because it's not possible. Thrive Architect is a closed system. They don't offer filters, hooks, or anything of that nature for third-party plugins to be able to integrate with their tools. They completely control their ecosystem. That is one of the choices that they made. It's as close to closed source and open source as you can get. So no, if any integration is ever going to exist between their products and ours, it's going to have to be developed by them. I'm not a huge fan of their products anymore because of that reason. I moved to Elementor, which does pretty much everything that Thrive Architect does, but better in my own personal opinion, but that's just me. So if they're going to make it, that's going to be them. Use the webhooks feature or use the form code that we provide. Zane. Andrew asks something, would it work on a non-Groundhogg email? I am not sure what you mean by that, Andrew. You're going to have to provide a little bit of extra context for me to be able to answer that question for you. The floor is open for Q&A. I am an open book. I will share any knowledge that I have or any information that I have with you. All you need to do is ask. This is your opportunity. And for those of you who do want to grab a copy of this funnel, I am going to be posting the link again in the chat area so you can download the funnel template and import it into your site so you can have your own website footer automated teller machine printing money for minimum effort. If you need additional help beyond the scope of what was shared in this call today, no worries, you have recourse. You can go to academy.groundhogg.io. We have tons of free courses there. And for you, we do have a question, a last minute question. Zane asks, what was the text that your offer for the ATM again? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Zane. And I do have a follow-up question. Okay, so it looks like I ended the call a little bit too soon. I jumped the gun a little bit. We do have a couple questions. All right, so let's answer those. So Zane, what was the text again for your offer? So Zane, we were talking about the website footer ATM, which is what we have on the Groundhogg website footer. At the bottom, it says subscribe and discount, where we ask for a name and an email address, and we're going to send a 15% discount code to that person so that they can go and they can actually grab something. They can go grab a license on the checkout page. I have shared the link to download the exact funnel that we're using right now, the same text and the same configuration in the chat there. And I can go ahead and grab the link again and make sure that you get it. And Zane says he's got it, so there we go. In terms of the text, the text looks like this in the actual email, which you have access to. Claim your 15% off discount code where it says, hi first, thanks for subscribing. Claim your 15% off discount below where it says, I found 15 off. The discount is valid for the first full subscription year for any premium plan or any 3-year term plans. So thanks for subscribing. Claim your 15% off discount below. Discount is valid for the first subscription year. And then we're iterating what actually makes us different, anything that we iterated on the pricing page to make sure that there is a continuity of information and a continuity of messaging between any assets or resources that they were looking at on your website and what they're seeing in the email to just reaffirm their original decision to actually request that discount code and bring them to the checkout page. So hopefully that answers your question. Andrew's asking, can I download this funnel? Absolutely, Andrew, you can download this funnel. I am pasting the link. All you have to do is click the link, which I am pasting in the chat right now, to go ahead and download that funnel, Andrew. Kurt asks, will there be a more visual way of building a funnel in the future, like diagram style? We are currently working on V3 of the editor. We ended up, we went back and forth a couple times. It was going to be an iteration of this, and then we wanted to go back, or then we wanted to go to like a sort of like flowchart diagram thing. And then we went back and decided to actually improve this layout significantly and iterate on it. 3,000 businesses are already using this editor to build funnels, and we figured that an iteration of this and making this more intuitive and more user-friendly is actually going to be more effective. After our user testing, we did lots of user testing a couple weeks ago, getting people to use this editor, and there were just some UI things and UX things that, once people used it for a few minutes, it clicked with them, and they're like, this is the greatest thing. It's so easy and it's so fast, and it's less confusing than the funnel editor. So we're taking, we're making it more UX and UI friendly for that first interaction and make sure that it kind of gets you past the hump to a point where, oh wow, this just clicked for me. So the new funnel editor is going to be an iteration of this, but it's going to be better and it's going to be a lot prettier. And I might be jumping the gun a little bit. Should I show you? Should I show you? That's the question.
Yeah.
Should I show you? I'll show you next. Yeah, okay. I'll show you guys next week what it's going to look like. So if you want to see what the new version is going to look like, it's very beautiful. We spend a lot of money on it. and UX and UI design, but it's quite pretty, and I'm really excited for it. Zane says, yes, I should share. Well then, Zane, you're just going to have to come to office hours next week. All right, I'm really sorry for that tease, everyone. All right, we're going to start wrapping it up here. So if you need additional help beyond what was shared here today, please go to academy.groundhogg.io. We have lots of free courses there. I share pretty much all of the strategies that we use in Groundhogg to grow our business and scale and make money. I know that they work because we're growing and scaling and making money. So if you want those proven strategies, go ahead over to academy.groundhogg.io and learn them. They're all free. If you need implementation help, we have a certified partner directory to help you out. And we actually just consider this a soft launch. And I don't know why Google keeps changing to Yahoo on my thing. It's really annoying. I must have something installed. If you go to Groundhogg, find a partner, we have this new program called the Partner RFP program, where it's kind of like a little bit like Upwork. You sign up, you go through the process, you tell us a little bit about your project, and we're going to match you with partners that match your project. So, if you need someone who specializes in LearnDash, we collect information from our partners and what products they specialize in. So we're going to match you with partners that specialize in LearnDash, and you can book meetings with them, and it's kind of cool. So if you need a partner, someone to help you kind of get Groundhogg going and implement it, because you're a business owner who wants to sit back and let someone else do the hard work, which I totally understand, then this is a process that you can go through to start that. So you can find a partner, and if you know someone, maybe a colleague, maybe a friend, maybe your family member who also owns a business, if you refer them to us and you become a referral partner, an affiliate, then we're going to give you 20% recurring commissions, which I also think is kind of cool. So you can go to affiliate area/registration to sign up for our Groundhog affiliate program. If you're not following us on social, we're on all important socials: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. @GroundhoggWP is the handles for all of those. If you have yet to leave a 5-star review, they really help. We're at 86 right now, which is kind of cool. If you could help us get to 90, that would be stellar. See what I did there? It's a little bit of a star pun. Go to our wordpress.org/plugins/repository page, or groundhog.org/plugins/groundhog on the WordPress repository, and leave a 5-star review there. They really help so that we can get more customers, so that we can generate more revenue, so that we can invest more in development, so we can bring you better products that help you solve expensive problems. If you have additional questions that you, for some reason, weren't able to get answered on this call, don't worry, you have recourse. You can continue to comment on the thread. We will be continuing to monitor it. You can post in the Facebook group. That's what the Facebook group is there for. You can message us on live chat, add us on Twitter, send us a support ticket, send us an email. We are fairly accessible people, and we want to make sure that you get the answers to your burning questions so that you can overcome obstacles in your business and launch your funnel, grow your list, and scale your business. So try saying that 10 times fast. All right. I want to thank everyone for spending the last 48 minutes and 41 seconds with me. I really appreciate it. I know it's asking a lot for business owners to take time of their day to spend it with me, so I just want to say that I appreciate your time greatly. Again, thank you everyone who came on the call today, and we'll see everyone next week, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for another session of Office Hours. Have a great day.